How's everybody doing as we head into the middle of this year? Like we're hitting the halfway point of 2026, and I wanted to do a little check-in and also do an updated energy forecast, which is something that I usually do in December and January. But I thought it was helpful to just check in, see how everybody's doing, and talk about what the energies are that are going on right now. And I'm going to share a little bit about what's going on and how the energies are manifesting for me and for my life because I feel like it's not just me. I feel like it's a collective energy. And so you might feel a little bit better that you're not alone in this journey and that it's not you, it's the energies. And maybe get some ideas about how to help navigate what's going on with the energies right now. I'm also going to talk about a new program that I have, which is happening in July. And so we'll lead into that at some point. So, yeah, back in December and January, I led my annual energy forecast workshop, which talked about this year being the year of the fire horse in Chinese astrology, and that the energy of this year was going to feel a lot different than in past years. The last couple of years have been kind of more slow and internal years, a lot of sort of internal reworking and shedding of old stories and habits. And this year, the year of the horse, is much more expansive, extroverted, high energy, and very fast paced. Is anybody feeling that? I am definitely feeling that. I'll share a little bit more about that in a second. But it's also because it's a fire horse year, there's a lot of potential for um, burnout, for high energy activities, for a lot of real, like in a good way, like being really passionate about things and energized and inspired about things. But also, things can kind of be overheating and a little bit volatile, a little bit explosive. But, on the good side, expansive, right? And visible and being seen and getting out there. So there's a lot of a positive side to this year. And there's a little bit of a potential for tipping over the edge. And what I wanted to talk about right now is we are in the month of June. We're actually coming up on the end of June. But according to the Chinese calendar, the month of June or this month doesn't end until probably like July 7th, I think it is, when we move into another astrological sign and element. So for the next week or so, we are in the month of June, which is a Yin Horse year. And excuse me, a Yin Horse month. And that is adding wood to the fire of the year and amplifying the horse energy, that rapid, fast-paced, very visible energy that's going on right now. And so right now, in the heat of summer, and we have a big, huge heat wave coming up at the end of this week where it's going to be really hot. Like we're in the heat of summer, like the real middle of summer where it's intense in terms of heat, and that can influence how you're feeling, both in feeling, making you feel like really burned out, really like the light shining on things that aren't quite as positive. Just it can throw you into imbalance, in particular this month of this year. So if you're feeling a little bit out of sync or overwhelmed or burned out or pulled in all directions, it's not necessarily you, it's the energies that are happening right now. And, I think I talked at the beginning of the year about how having practices in place that keep you grounded, that that keep you focused, a lot of self-care, those would be things that would be really important through this year to help keep you on track. I think the visual that I gave during the forecast webinar was that, the horse is going to run by you and you want to be able to jump on and ride that horse in the direction it's taking you. What I've realized as this year has gone by, it actually feels more like a stampede to me. Like it feels like there's things coming in all directions, and it's a little bit unclear, like which horse to jump on and which direction to go in and what to grab onto and what to put my attention and my focus on. And those grounding practices that I have in place in my life help for sure in keeping me going in the right direction or not getting pulled in the wrong direction by one of the horses that's taking off in the other direction. So, personally for me, this year has been super fast paced, and I think it's amplified by the fact that I have two teenage daughters. One of them is a senior. She just graduated. She's heading off to college literally in weeks. And it literally feels like we just started September, the last, her senior year. And now we are in, she's getting ready to pack up her stuff and move. So it's like been really fast paced. And add into that we are, this is uncharted territory for us, for her heading off to school far away, for us as parents, navigating the college system and the financial aid and all of those things, and sending her off, like letting her go. That's all like really stretching us beyond our comfort zone. Um, and so that's what's happening like on the home front. On the business front, like lots of great opportunities coming in terms of visibility and being seen and being known for what I do and really feeling like there's energy behind the work that I'm putting out there and it's being met energetically as well. But there's also been a big stretch beyond the comfort zone in that realm as well, because it has meant stepping into working with new back end systems. So learning something new that I didn't have to know before, and now I have to understand it and know it and implement it. So there's been a big stretch of the brain power up there. It's also been a big stretch in terms of stepping onto bigger stages that I might not necessarily feel like I'm ready to stand on, but the opportunity's there. And that's kind of the impetus of the year of the horse, is that you kind of have to jump and leap with the horse, whether you feel ready or not. So all of that internal work that you did in the previous years with the year of the snake and otherwise, like that was in preparation to get you to the place where you felt ready for these big leaps that you'd be taking. And so there's still a lot of wobbling going on in, internal in the mindset issues about getting myself ready to step onto these bigger stages, bigger platforms, and feel comfortable with that. So, and there's also been a bunch of like investment in advance in my business, which I'm not used to making. Like it's an entrepreneur's dream to have a whole bunch of money come in and then you invest that money back into your business, but it doesn't always work that way. And so there's been a big leap of faith to put the investment out there first and hope that it comes back in terms of growing the business as well. So it's really been a year of stretching beyond the comfort zone, but knowing that this feeling is there that you really got to act or you're going to miss the opportunity altogether. And so if you're feeling that, let me know, because that's definitely been what's going on. It feels like a year of fast decisions, a whole bunch of big decisions, a lot of adulting, a lot of new experiences. Like, and that's exciting. Like, it's really exciting. And there's a lot of energy and anticipation about it, but it also creates a lot of anxiety and trepidation and really kind of like a little bit of friction, like should I not? I don't know. Am I ready? I'm not sure. So those are all things that you might be feeling right now too. In addition to that, like in our own personal life, my husband started a new job at the beginning of June, and that has caused a lot of schedule changes for us here in the house. And if you're a mom at home, you know the person whose schedule gets affected the most is the mom. Like I've literally been like reworking my schedule in order to help make this work well for everybody. And so that's been an adjustment period. And so things feel like they're moving really fast and the plates are shifting underneath, and but you're still having to move forward at the same time. And so if that's what you're feeling, it's again, it's not necessarily you, it is the energies at play. And I'll give you some personal examples of ways that it's like really like jumbling up things in our life. So little simple little things like that normally wouldn't feel like a problem are like they really are like unsettled. Like the other day, my daughter bought some bread to make some something that she wanted. And then for whatever reason, the bread got moldy really fast because of the temperature or whatever. And so she went to make what she wanted to make, and the bread wasn't good anymore. So she threw that away. So then she got new bread, and then she went to make her thing, and the other ingredient was gone. And so it's like a synchronicity, like all of these little things happening where it's a little bit harder, it's a little bit more challenging, it's a little bit more out of sync, it's a little bit more out of alignment. And the tension is rising, like the heat is rising. For all of us, we are stepping into new zones of comfort. My youngest daughter is learning to drive and about to get her license. So that's a step beyond her comfort zone and ours, and so there's a lot of friction about learning how to drive and doing it right and, taking advice without getting heated about it. Same thing with my older daughter. She's making some big leaps forward in her life, getting ready to move out, be on her own. And there's a lot of tension about all of the things that have to happen to make that work. And I will say that our home feels tenser. It feels like there's more friction. It feels like there's a more amped up energy and an anxiety to it. Which again is like it's a tipping point. It's like tipping over the point where all of the things that are happening are exciting, they're new, they're fresh, they're fun. They can be that, but when they get amplified, when the energy gets amplified, it tips over to that phase where it's a little bit more tense, it's a little bit more friction. People are a little bit more short-tempered with each other. Fuses are shorter, conversations are snappier. Um, there was something else I wanted to say about that, where you just feel like you're a little bit burnt out by everything instead of enjoying the process. And that's the real hesitation that I am seeing to this time of year. And again, the thing that I would say is, oh my gosh, I'm just like dropping balls. I'm not staying in alignment. It's not necessarily me, it's the energies that are amplified that are affecting all of that. So, of course, I'm going to look at my notes for a second and make sure that I am not missing anything because I really wanted to make sure that I covered this with you. The thing that I want you to be aware of, the feng shui part of this, is that energy, that anxiety, that tension, that friction, that burnout feeling, that seeps out into the energy of your home. And it like becomes like this energetic set point where if you don't, you could certainly do things, your own self-care to calm yourself down, to get yourself recentered, to get clear on what you is important and what you should be focused on. But if that energy is in your house and that frequency is set in your home, it's not really going to, you're going to be swimming in that, despite the fact that you're doing all that good stuff to try to keep yourself grounded and balanced through this fiery time, extra fiery time. So it's important to take care of your home as well. And I know that, right? I'm a feng shui practitioner. This is what I do. And normally I am very much on top of maintaining the energy of my home because I know it's part of the self-care that helps me maintain my energy. It helps keep us all in harmony together. It helps support what everybody's goals are within the space, within whatever their priorities are in life. And I'm usually very much on top of that. But quite honestly, year of the fire horse, things have been going fast. Things have been happening like crazy. Our calendar has been very full, and I have not necessarily been doing that as much as I normally would have. In the last couple of weeks, we've had to make college decisions. We've had to make financial commitments. We have had to start a new job. We have had to change schedules. We've had to do and I'm saying it like, again, had to. Like we've gotten to, celebrate my daughter's graduation. We get to go to her orientation in a couple of days. Like it's all very exciting stuff, but it can feel like it tips over to that other side where it's tense and stressful and anxious. So I haven't been taking care of my own home the way that I normally do. And I think that's a collective energy. I'm sure I'm not the only one that's in that situation, that's feeling this pace, that's feeling this rush, that's feeling like we're scrambling to grab back onto the horse and not lose our way. that's feeling pulled in all directions. I know I'm not the only one. And one of the other things about the year of the horse is that it can be a really big, high energy year. And what the way that that's coming through for me in my work is that there are a ton of ideas and downloads coming to me about what I want to be doing, what people need, what to deliver to people. And that's always the case. I'm a creative person, and that's why I love what I do. But in the last couple of years, there hasn't necessarily been the ideas may have been there, but the energy to bring them to life has not necessarily been in alignment. So they didn't necessarily, the idea could just kind of either it dissipated or it got tabled, whatever. Like it didn't necessarily happen. This year feels very different in the fact that those ideas are coming and they are coming with a force that says, this is what people need now. And you need to bring this to life. And so, in addition to all of these life happenings that are going on, I'm getting the real push that people need something different than what I have delivered before. And so one of those downloads has been this program, the Jumpstart program. And it's definitely different than what I've ever shared before, which is when I work with people one-on-one, we are doing a deep dive into your space, your life, your goals. And it's really a commitment of both time and money. And we work together over a period of time to align the energies in all different types of ways, from the way your layout is working with you to the way the things that you surround yourself with are energizing you or not, to removing energetic blocks and to getting the energy moving and flowing on your behalf. So that's a deep dive, and that's always what I've delivered. I'm still delivering that. That is there. But what I feel like people need is something different. I feel like people are on the edge already. They are at the tipping point. Their to-do list is long enough. They just like me, like they haven't had, they know what needs to be done. They know what changes they need to make, but they haven't given themselves the time to do it. They haven't carved out the time to do it. And maybe they're not sure what the best next steps are. And so they've hesitated, or they've convinced them that now's not the right time, or that they need something else to happen first. Made up excuses for not doing the thing that they know will help to ease things and calm things. And I can definitely say that, I mean, that speaks for me. Like I've been busy and I know that the energy of our home needs a bit of a reset, and I haven't done it. And now I'm not doing it because I know I'm going to do it as part of the Jumpstart program with a group of people in a couple of weeks. But so that's what I've created is a July Jumpstart. All right. And this is a Feng Shui energy reset. It's a 2-night event that's happening in July where I'm going to actually tell you what to do in your home and tell you where to go to activate specific energies. I think that we typically get distracted and don't give us time to do what we know needs to get done, or we end up focusing on a place in our home or on things in our home that, like the kitchen counter, like cleaning off the kitchen counter over and over and over and over again, or cleaning off the nightstand over and over and over again, and expending our energy on places that we do the work, we make it clear, it feels better for a minute, and then it undoes, it unravels again very quickly, and the counter's a mess again, and you put your energy back into it again. I want to pull people out of that cycle and instead show you my process of where I go in my home when the energy is feeling off and where it's unsettled. Because I don't always do that deep dive into feng shui. I do that. I do it annually. I definitely look at that and I definitely reset things very specifically and clearly, usually at the start of every year. And I definitely recommend that people do that. But there are times like right now when life is busy, when life is crazy, when I just need to do a quick, sharp, strategic reset and stop doing the same things I've been doing over and over again, but go to these power centers of the home and make some real changes that are going to reset the energy. So there are places in your home that have a bigger impact on you and influence you and your energy more and influence the energy of the home more. And so that's what we're going to focus on. And this is a 2 night workshop that takes place in July. It's 2 hours. It is an active workshop. I'm not going to be giving you homework. I'm not going to be teaching you a bunch of theory about Feng Shui. I'm going to be explaining to you what we're doing, what the power spots are, and telling you what to go to do in those power spots. That's night number one. And then on the second night, which is just 2 days later, this is July 21st and 23rd. On the second night, we're going to do I think it's important in this halfway point of the year to just do a little bit of an energy reset and to look at life, the 9 life areas, and just assess where we're at and whether we're on track for what we wanted to create for this year. And then to learn how to activate the 9 life areas in your space. And I'm not going to say much more about that because you're going to think it's something different, but it's not. But it is. So yeah, it's going to be very powerful. The other thing that I want to say that's been downloading, this idea that's really been coming to me for probably more than a year, but I had to push it off and push it off, is this idea of an energy clearing, like a collective energy clearing. So when I work with my virtual clients, we will assess the space and the energy of their space virtually. And then I will go in and do a remote energy clearing and clear the energy of their space. And in that practice, I'm clearing the energy, I'm moving the energy, I'm shifting it remotely, and also connecting with the energy of their home. And oftentimes, guides or the spirit of the home, which gives me a lot of information about what the home needs, what the homeowner needs to understand about what's going on in the space. And it's really very powerful. Like I love doing, I was very hesitant to do it when I first started, but it has become one of my favorite things to do. What I'm going to be doing as a bonus for people who join the Jumpstart program is sending out a collective energy clearing recording. So I am going to tune in to the collective group and do a clearing of all the homes at once and channel that intuitive guidance, which I know will be a message for the collective, but I think it will have very prominent messages that each individual will understand and be able to take away in their own personal way. So I'm really excited about that because it's something I've never done before. Again, stretching beyond my comfort zone, but I also think it's something that people really, truly need right now. So anyway, if you are feeling like you are out of alignment, that things are just not happening with ease, if you feel like you're edging towards burnout, if you feel like if you just feel like things are off or stuck or not moving, then I think, I mean, to me, that's what the Jumpstart program is about. I use this process whenever I feel like something's not going my way, something needs a jumpstart, something needs a reset in my life. And the good thing about this is that you will learn this process that I use and you can use it again and again. So it doesn't replace that one-on-one deep dive, full personalized consultation that you would do with me, but it is a tool and a technique that you can use that is very generalized and will help you shift the energy very quickly and rapidly when you feel like you need it. This program I see being very positive for somebody who's new to Feng Shui, doesn't know much about it, but might be ready to dip their toes into it. You don't have to have a background in Feng Shui or really understand it. This is going to be presented in a way that even somebody who has never even read about Feng Shui before can follow the steps. And it's also a great opportunity for somebody who has had Feng Shui in place, but maybe it just feels like things are not working right now, or they're not in alignment, or that they're stuck. Or just in general, if you personally feel stuck, if you personally feel out of alignment, if you feel like you're edging towards burnout, you can feel that tension in the air. You can feel that your relationships are a little bit strained. It might feel like there's a lot of friction in the home right now, or static or anxiety. That's a sign that the energy is off. And I want to add that I think everybody's feeling this right now to some degree, simply because of how unsettled things are in the world right now. On the world stage, we are all like inviting that into our homes. That's there, that's part of our, in the back of our minds, that stress and tension about changes that are happening and things that are going on that are not clear yet, I think are really adding to this. And so that's why it feels like this collective jumpstart or reset is needed, and this collective clearing is needed. I really feel like this is like picking up the, I don't know what you call them, like the cardiac paddles, and like pushing them onto the heart of your home and jumpstarting and resetting the way the energy is flowing so that it is more supportive, more energizing, more balanced, more harmonious, and it allows you to like remove that level of friction and replace it with a layer of calm, a layer of like vitality that energizes you and feeds you. So I just wanted to come in and tell you that I think that this is a really good halfway point of the year. Again, we're not quite at the halfway point of the Chinese year, but we are at the halfway point of the Gregorian calendar, where June is here. We're about to head into July. Second half of the year, maybe you had some goals for the year, some things that you had planned, and it's a great time to reset and call the energies back in to be working with you to finish out the year strong. So I'm going to put the link to the Jumpstart program in the description. And if you have any questions, reach out to me. Initially, I had offered that energy bonus, the energy clearing bonus, if you signed up by June 30th. And actually, intuitively in my brain, I am bumping that out at least a week. I haven't figured out the actual timing yet, but I'm going to bump that out. So if you join the Jumpstart program, let's say for right now, by the 10th of July, you will receive that energy clearing bonus. I realized that in the next 10 days, I'm not going to create the clearing because I have things going on already, and I won't have the time to do it. And I also realized that this is kind of like prime vacation time for most of the people, at least in my um, uh, hemisphere. And so I think a lot of people aren't going to be paying attention to their inboxes and listening to recordings that come into it. And so I would rather hold it and then deliver it just before the Jumpstart program or just after the Jumpstart program, when people will really be more grounded and in tune for it to receive it. So that's just, I'm going to edit that. If everything in writing says that you have to sign up by June 30th in order to be part of that bonus, but I'm putting that edit out to the world right now, that we can actually, you will actually get that if you sign up by the 10th. That's all, everyone. I would love to hear how the energies are treating you. If any of this resonated, let me know. I would love to hear about that. Thanks so much, everybody. Stay cool out there. Oh, one more thing I wanted to add. There is no water element in this time frame. In the Chinese astrological calendar, the elements are, there's very little water to no water in this June to early July time frame, and typically in the fire horse year in general. So this fire energy that we're feeling, it's literally, that's my dog snoring. It's literally like explosive or volatile because there is nothing to cool it off. There's nothing to balance it out. So one of the things that you can be doing right now is, taking a dip in some water, adding some water element to your house. It's just very good to balance out the elements that are going on in nature by bringing intentionally in the water element to your space. You can bring it in what you wear. I would not be wearing a lot of black clothing right now, but black or dark blue are the colors of the water element. Maybe you can wear a black bathing suit when you go swimming, but water element is really key right now. It's not showing up energetically out there, and we need it. Like we need to cool ourselves off and to douse ourselves um, in order to balance the fact that we're like sitting in overheated, hot, flammable energies. So that's my one tip that I wanted to share with you for this week as well. That's all, everybody. Thank you so much for listening in. Take care.